angel, Phil. I want to feel your light.
I'll evict you before the week's out.
I've been having a series of very bad days. What if she lives another 20 years?
Do you wish death upon her?
Not tomorrow.
God, you saved my life. No. Every time I see the light, I see your face.
Just because I'm standing over you backlit. What kind of moron buys a house under such circumstances? Are you crying?
Sorry.
Hey, Paul, how are you this morning?
I'm great. And yourself?
I'm doing great. Thanks for joining me today. I love the film. It's my sense of humor, so congratulations.
Thank you. I'm glad. Thank you. It was a fun movie. Fun to
I
make.
bet. It looked like you guys had a blast, It's the American dream to own a home. It's also the dream of Professor Phil Loader. But what's stopping him? Probably what's stopping most Americans these days from owning a home, right?
Well, I mean, you could tell. So, look, he's not the nicest guy. He's not the most together guy, but he's stopping himself. He really is. I mean, other than, we know the financial time that we're in. That is obviously our big issue. We had fun with that idea. That's kind of what we were drawn to. I don't know if you know, but it's based on a true story.
Yeah, I heard it's from Chicago Public Radio. This actually happened?
It actually, what's funny is it actually happened, but I've seen it now at a couple of places. This is something that's actually happening.
That gives me hope.
Maybe, right? Have you? Yeah. Well, it's a crazy time we live in. And, we wanted to that's kind of was the base of the idea, but also the question that he poses in the beginning of the movie: what is happiness? We're all connected to this American dream that we think is going to make us happy, but what does that really mean? That was kind of like the underlying story, obviously his story.
And obviously he moves in with Shirley MacLaine and he's on a death watch, waiting for her to die to inherit the home. It just sounds so morbid, but over time he does develop feelings, right? He's not that dark of a person.
No, so I mean that's what we wanted. We wanted him to change, and he does change. So that's his arc, but we didn't want it to be like a massive Hollywood ending where he's suddenly this completely different guy, right? So we kind of gave him that incremental change, and through her character, he really starts to look at his life.
I love how,
am I really making the right choices?
Yeah, he starts doubting himself, which I love. You do see that change.
Yeah.
I love how Professor Phil, though, he's so accident prone. He spills in the bathroom, shoes through the window, breaking pictures. I mean, and then Peter Dinklage's timing is just so amazing. He's so funny.
I love that stuff. I mean, I love Charlie Chaplin. I love those old movies, and we wanted to bring that element to this. A lot of people feel that it's too much. I'm attracted to that. It's my kind of movie. Pete does that so well. Like, you could not have a better actor for that kind of thing. And he loves that too. I mean, he really appreciates those old movies too. So he was really excited to really play that part.
Yeah, we say classic, Paul. We don't say old.
Thank you.
I tell people it's not Turner old movies, it's Turner classic movies. So
Turner classic movies. That's good.
Speaking of that, it's on my cable channel 24/7. And one of my all-time favorite films is The Apartment. And so I adore Shirley MacLaine. As a director, I'd be a nervous wreck just even approaching her for this role. So tell me about how that came about.
She's an icon, obviously. And she's not only that, she has a big personality to her, and she doesn't suffer fools. I mean, you probably know that, like, very kind of. So going into it, obviously, I was kind of like nervous. But the minute I sat with her, the first time I met her, we sat for 4 hours and just talked, and that 100% went away. She's a real person. She's not kind of stuck in Hollywood, doesn't live in LA. So really, it was really refreshing to be with someone of that kind of stature, but they disarm that right away.
Yeah, the bigger they are, the nicer they are, right?
Really, like wonderful, wonderful person.
And who would have thought Shirley MacLaine and Peter Dinklage would have such amazing chemistry? When did you see that first? When did you notice it?
You know, both of them wanted to work with each other.
Yeah.
This script was written for them. They didn't know about it, but Ted actually, we wrote it for them in mind. They were the people we wanted. We gave it to them. They loved it. They wanted to do it. Both of them said right away, I've always wanted to work with Shirley MacLaine, Peter Dinklage. So the minute they met, they hit it off.
And I've been a Kevin Dillon fan for many, many years.
Bat.
He does so many heavy roles, but you know what? He's got great, what was the Fairley Brothers movie he did? He's got great timing as a comedian. So here he just comes in and just knocks it out of the park.
Yeah, I love that. I love Something About Mary. I mean, that is, he was so good in that. So funny. I love him too. You're very funny, but he can play that serious role and he plays the comedy so well too.
I watch Gunsmoke every day, so I say Matt Dillon. I got James Arness on the brain. So
Do you really?
And the great Danny Glover. I love big stars that have small parts because they come in and there are no small parts, right? What was it? And he was just fantastic. I love seeing Danny Glover.
I was going to bring him up because those are my favorite scenes. Like, I love those scenes when they were all together. I love the scenes of Pete and Shirley together, but Danny Glover, I wish we had more of him. Like when we were putting it together, I'm like, he is so charming, so wonderful, so funny. Really kind of looking forward to see more of Danny in other films.
He's got icons all over this film, so it's fantastic. All right, tell me the truth, Paul. How many bottles of wine did you go through in this movie? I mean, every scene they're opening a bottle of wine. I mean, it's just
He was a drinker. I mean, beer, wine. We probably shot more than is actually in the film. For sure.
That was classic. It was classic. And also, I have to ask you, the poster right here, is that a takeoff on American Gothic? It sure looks like it.
Yes, it is. Yeah, that was Ted Melfi, who, I don't know if you've ever talked to Ted. He wrote the film, produced it. And he had that idea. It was wonderful, like great idea.
And where did you find the location for the home? I mean, was there an extensive search because that's a star in the film itself?
It is. There's a character in the film that we shot on Vancouver Island in Victoria. And we wanted a kind of just a very old home that reflected who she was, kind of old money, old world. I can say old there, not classic, right?
You can say old there. That's how that works.
And, it was incredible, that house. It's not one house, though. Just so I know you actually you're a filmmaker too, or you?
Yeah. I went to film school. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's not one house. We pieced it together like, the way we make movies. And it's a house for the outside that's on the lake. The inside is another house. The apartment we built a set. And all the windows that we look out, we shot plates, like built scaffolding and shot plates to look out of his apartment. So it's really kind of pieced together to give that feeling of that space.
That's movie magic. I love it. Well, Paul, congratulations. What a great dark comedy. And you should be proud. And I enjoyed it very much. And I enjoyed our conversation. So let's do it again soon.
Awesome.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, me too. I appreciate it.